everyone, today I'm here to share with you my August to be read. I cannot believe August is here. This is like the last month of summer. I know summer doesn't technically end until like mid-September, but let's be honest. When it's September 1st, everybody just goes fall crazy. Like even stores now are going fall crazy. So I think we all are suffice to say, like when September hits, that brings out the fall decor. So be ready for that on this channel because you guys know I love my fall decor. This is the last month of summer, and this is also the last month where I can really get away with reading a ton. Usually in the summertime, I can read a lot of books. It's been shown. I've read like 10 or 11 in June, like 13 in July, and I'm hoping to do the same in August. Fall is also in September, but also brings a lot of busyness, you know, with school, with wedding season, with just fall things in general, with holidays coming up. Everything just gets crazy in September, and that's when I kind of really have to be strict with my TBR, like really limit myself on what I want to read. But August, it's the last month, so I'm just gonna go big or go home. So I am choosing, I want to say 8 books. Hopefully I can read more. These are the 8 that I definitely want to read this month and I'm hoping to read, and they all come from my TBR pile, which makes me so happy because like after I took these off my TBR pile, like it looked considerably like less and made me breathe a huge sigh of relief because not having so many on there. So hopefully I can read all of these. So the first book I am planning to read, I am very excited for, and I'm also very nervous for. It's a mixed bag of emotions with this book, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I have been wanting to read this forever. I haven't because of numerous reasons. Number one, I've never read a Laini Taylor book before. I've heard her writing is beautiful, but it's very hard to get into, so that makes me nervous. Number two, it's quite a big book. I think this is over 500 pages. Oh, it's like 530 something, which is not that bad, but it's still, you know, it's quite a lot for me because it's a really big fantasy book, so that's another reason why I'm nervous about reading it. And my last reason is I'm afraid I'm not going to love it as much as everybody else loves it. Like everybody loves this book. I think it's going to be on a lot of people's favorites list at the end of the year, so I'm hoping to really enjoy it, but I have to, you know, remember it's okay if I don't enjoy it. Either way, I'm planning to read it this month. I hope I can do it. This one does like kind of daunt me a little bit. If you haven't heard of this book and this beautiful cover, I'm so obsessed with this cover. This is about like this lost city called Weep, and you follow our main character Lazlo, who's kind of like a librarian. He kind of does research on Weep and things like that, and somebody comes in and sweeps him up away to try to find this lost city of Weep, and that's all I know about it. Like even when you read the book jacket, it's kind of cryptic because that's all you really know is about this lost city. It says, "It was impossible, of course, but when did that ever stop any dreamer from dreaming?" So it's all about this lost city of Weep pretty much, and I've heard amazing things about it. I'm hoping to love it. If you have read this book, let me know. Does it take a while to get into it? Because there are a lot of books that I've read that I love so dearly, like the Raven Boys, but the first 100 pages are a stretch to get through. So let me know. Is that the same way with this book? Like if I'm prepared, it'll make it easier for me. So the next book I want to read, I wasn't even planning to read until like October, but I want to read it now because I just want to read it now. And that is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the first book in the series. Sequel called Hunting Prince Dracula comes out next month, and I really want to read that book just for the title alone. You guys know my love of vampires, Buffy. It's repetitive, but read this book to see if I even want to buy that book, which hopefully I do because it's about Dracula. But either way, I want to see what the buzz is all about this book. A lot of people really enjoy it. This is what the title says, it's Stalking Jack the Ripper. This girl really gets into kind of forensic and things like that. Then Jack the Ripper pops up and she kind of like stalks him and tries to learn his trade. That's all I know about it. Very atmospheric, I've heard, so I'm kind of sad I'm reading it in August, but either way, I want to read this one first to see if I want to read the sequel. You gotta be prepared. So the next book on my TBR is First We Were Four by Alexandra Sorowi. This is a YA mystery book, and I have been really loving mystery these past couple of years. I think I've read more mystery this year than last year. I can't say that for sure, but either way, I've heard really good things about this book. This also really sounds very atmospheric and very much kind of like the perfect read in October. Maybe I'm being a chicken and reading these like in August when it like stays bright really late outside because I know my heart can't handle it in October. I don't know. Either way, I'm reading them, so that counts for something, right? This is a very interesting book. It's all about a secret society, about these 4 girls that form the secret society, and they said, "We made a pledge and danced under the blood moon on the meteorite in the spot where we found the dead girl 5 years earlier, discovered that the ancient drawings way before that." So basically, like, they have this secret society where I think they want to right a lot of wrongs, and this girl's murder has been kind of like brushed under the rug, and so they're trying to remind the town that this is happening, and they just do a secret society of doing many different things. And then all of a sudden a lot of people come wanting in. It says what started out as a secret society ended up as justice, revenge, death, rebellion. It sounds really, really interesting. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, and I haven't read a book by this author, so I'm hoping to love it because I love a good mystery book. Sadly, I have not read a really good YA mystery book, and I'm hoping this will break the mold because it sounds very, very like intriguing. Like the whole plot just draws you in. To shake things up for my fantasy like mystery kick, the next book I want to read is Britt Marie Was Here by Frederick Bachman. I read A Man Called Ove last year, and I really, really love that book so much. I love his writing, and a lot of people love this one as well. This is all about this woman named Britt Marie who's kind of like a really uppity older lady, and she divorces her husband and she goes off to another town and gets another job as like a housekeeper or something of that nature. And it's all about her, and I think her finally like relaxing and like coming a little bit looser from the marriage that she was suffocated in. So I'm sure I'm going to love this book. Frederick Bachman's writing just has a breath of fresh air for me, and I just really enjoy it, so I can't wait to read this one. Next up, there's a chick lit that I want to read because I feel like every month I just have to read a chick lit book because I love them so. And that is Miss You by Kate Elberlin. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but the cover is beautiful. This one I haven't read yet because I've heard mixed reviews on it. Like Goodreads is either like, you really enjoy it or you really don't. If it's almost got that One Day by, I forget the author, David Nichols, I want to say, vibe to it. I've heard like a lot of people compare it to that. I mean, it is blurred by Sophie Kinsella, who is my favorite chick lit author of all time, so I want to give it a chance, but that's all I know about it. I'm not going too much into it, but it's about a chance meeting, I think, and their lives cross paths many, many years later, and same old, you know, chick lit story. Either way, I'm excited to read it because it's August. Perfect time to read chick lit, right? Next up, I want to read an ARC, and that is Behind the Song by K.M. Walton, as well as many other authors. This is a short story anthology. It doesn't come out till September. I don't know when exactly in September. This is a whole bunch of short stories where the stories are kind of inspired by a particular song. So each author picked a particular song that maybe means a lot to them, maybe one of their favorite songs, and kind of form a story around it. So I am very, very excited to read this because a lot of my favorite songs are in this book, honestly, and so I just can't wait to read it. For example, if you're wanting to know the different type of songs on here, I'll tell you my favorites that really drew me into this book. The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. Jimmy Eat World is one of my favorite bands of all time, which probably show my age, but I love that song. It's not my favorite Jimmy Eat World song, but either way, it's Jimmy Eat World. Another one is Wonderwall by Oasis. 90s music is my jam, always. I listen to 90s music every day. My son loves 90s music. That is not a joke. He literally loves it. We listen to it every day. Somewhere Only We Know by Keane, amazing. The Suburbs by Arcade Fire, Miss Atomic Bomb by The Killers, and a whole bunch of others, like a Dave Matthews Band song. So I am excited to read this because I love short stories, and I also love that they're pairing them with kind of songs. So it sounds really, really interesting, and I can't wait to read it, and I don't have any time to read it in September, so that's why I'm reading it this month. And the last two books I'm reading are contemporary because you know I can't go a month without reading contemporary. I feel like if I just have contemporary every single month, it kind of just sets my flow of reading okay. I don't know. But the first one I want to read is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. Everybody and their mother have been talking about this book too, and I want to see what the buzz is all about. It's kind of a deeper contemporary about this girl named Eliza who has made this famous webcomic called Monstrous Sea, and she meets the famous fan fiction writer of her comics at school, and they form a relationship, and it's all about that. It's all about her mental health as well, and I've just heard bounds and bounds of amazing things about this book. I cannot wait to see what the buzz is about. And I believe it has actual illustrations from her webcomic in it, so that's beautiful. So I can't wait to read this book. And the last book I'm hoping to read this month is Shuffle Repeat by Jen Klein. I got this book after Kristen from Super Space Chick talked about it forever ago. This is all about these two students that kind of have to carpool together every day. The boy has to pick up the girl to go to school, and of course they argue over the over the iPod and what music's on and things like that. And that's all I know about it. I think it's all about kind of like bonding over music. It just sounds like a perfect, cute summer contemporary book, which is always right up my alley. So there you have it. There's the 8 books that I plan to read in August. I'm hoping to fly through them. The only reason I set 8, I honestly would have set like 10 or 11, it's because of Strange the Dreamer. That one's gonna throw me off for a little bit. I could either read it like super fast, or I could take my time with it. Just have to see how the book goes. So hopefully I'll read another couple of books that are sitting on my TBR shelf. That would be amazing, because like I said, September is busyness and there's so many new releases in September that I have to read. I have to read them then. So I'm trying to get my TBR pile down to somewhat to be manageable. If you have read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on them. Which one was your favorite? If you have any recommendations for me on how to read these certain books, like, you know, how to go into them, I guess, let me know as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.